Hi, welcome to Capital Raises Club. Today's episode, we're going to discuss about legacy projects with Creative Footprint founder and and CEO. We have Akumishi Ayenajeh presenting to us how she's raised capital, a little bit of background info on her project. So without further ado, please welcome Akumishi to Capital Raises Club. Hey, Akumishi, how are you doing? Is it working? We have a connection. This is a very long distance call for everybody who's watching this live right now. So this is all the way from Nigeria, Akumishi. Let's see if it works better now. Now it works. Hi, there you are. Now we can see you and hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Perfect. Please, Akumishi, let our listeners know more about you and the Creative Footprint Project. It's been tremendous watching this unfold over the past couple of months, and we have listeners here that are live and also later on watching the recording, and I'm sure they would like to learn more about you. Akumishi, where are you calling in from right now?
I am calling in from Abuja, Nigeria.
Whoa, that's the furthest distance we've had a guest tune in from. Super cool. Humbled that you're here with us today and making time. It's super late over there, so thank you for making time for this. Hey, Akumishi, would you like? Awesome. Would you like to share with us a little bit about you and your backstory, please?
Oh, yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Samson. I truly appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Watching this right now or on rebroadcast, I am excited to be here and to share my story with you all. So my name is Akumishi Ayenajeh, and I am the founder of the Creative Footprint. I am also a global shaper, and that's with the World Economic Forum. I am currently serving as the vice curator of the Abuja hub. With that, I also co-own a business development hub in Lafia, somewhere called Lafia here in Nasarawa State, Nigeria. So I'm going to give you a backstory to how the Creative Footprint started. In 2016, when I had just left school, I was on the hunt for a job and went for a lot of interviews, and the reviews I got from the employers was, you lack employable jobs. I'm like, what does that even mean, to have employable skills, rather? I didn't get it. I didn't know what it meant. So I came back home and I had to learn. I had to go on the internet, do a lot of courses online, watch a lot of videos on YouTube, read a lot of books, just to understand what these skills meant. So for me, I majored in marketing skills, leadership skills, entrepreneurial skills, basically, to start something new. And looking back, this is a problem that is very much dominant in the country. A lot of people that I left school with till today, most of them do not have jobs. Why? They do not have these skills, and because the way their minds is set up to, this is how you live your life. You go to school, you get out of school, you get a government job, you get married, you have kids, and they repeat the cycle, right? And it just wasn't fair for me as a Black lady to not have more opportunities to be successful. At some point, my parents started kicking me, oh, you have to start working, you have to look for a job with the government. I'm like, that has never really been my strong suit, because I believe that I have a lot more to offer when it comes to reaching out and doing more for people. So the Creative Footprint came into being. I go, what if I could teach these children, start with children? So if the skills I possess now, if I learned them from a young age, it would have grown with me as a habit. So get outside school, to have the knowledge to, this is how I get a job and this is what I need to do. This is how I need to present myself when I want to get a job. So I go, okay, you know what? I'm going to go back and start talking to teenagers, teaching them these skills. So these are extracurricular skills, extracurricular habits for them to grow aside what their teachers are being taught, teach them in school, rather. So it's been a really beautiful experience. I officially kicked off the Creative Footprint in 2019. So what we do is we build learning products to teach children these skills. So leadership skills, emotional intelligence, financial literacy, leadership. I said leadership already. Financially, I mean, you get it. So every other skill that is needed to be successful in life, we're teaching these children so they grow it as a habit. We're also teaching them certain habits like consistency, persistency, how to be focused and committed and disciplined to a goal, and not saying you're going to do A today, and because it doesn't turn out to what you want it to be immediately, you just run off. No. So we're doing a lot with framing their minds to long-term success as opposed to short-term success, and just doing more in the space of the private sector, because the way education works here in Nigeria is I mean, the curriculum is so, the curriculum that I was taught with is the same curriculum that the children are still being taught with. And I'm 29 right now. So just imagine a 13 or 14 or 15-year-old. I mean, the world is evolving. There are a lot of things happening, you know, tech here and there, just frontier technology everywhere. A lot of frontier skills that people should have, but this opportunity is not being presented to the children. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to do this for children. But then my market is predominantly in the urban areas. I go, no. The larger population of children that are vulnerable to being menace to society or not being contributive to the society are in the rural communities. So I spoke to a couple of friends sometime in 2021, the beginning of 2021, and then they were able to sponsor these learning products. We went to a rural community close by. We just did a one-day thing with the children, had a talk with them, and gave them the learning products. I mean, that was great. That was really fantastic. But thinking long term is one thing for you to just have a one-off conversation with somebody. Yes, you may motivate them, you know, rub off a little bit, but what happens a couple of days after? You know, I personally believe that you have to have encounters with someone at least 5 times so the person is embedded in your head, right? So the person's habit and the way, whatever the person said to you, you know, just being present with that person 5 times would teach you that person. So you'd be able to learn what the person does and how the person does it. So I go, okay, you know what? Let's do more for a rural community. We reached out to a rural community. Can you hear me well?
Perfectly.
Okay, fantastic. Reached out to a rural community in somewhere called Karu, in Nasarawa State. So they had a block of 9 classrooms that were in a terrible shape. And I go, okay, spoke with the principal. Can you give us one of these classrooms to refurbish to a career exploration room? And he goes, sure, but you are going to have to fund it yourself. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. We will try to raise the funding. I came back home and did not know what to do, to be honest. At the time, I mean, raising funds, but when the budget was drawn, I'm like, how is it going to happen? You know, but just being able to sit down and think and leverage on technology was amazing. I'm just going to let you ask the next question because I feel like I've gone
Before we get to the raising funds part, which is super interesting, by the way, for everybody in Capital Raisers Club, this is one of the top hottest topics in our show. So we have some questions here in the comments. I would like to go show respect to our live audience. For all of you all watching the recording, to show up for the live for the live sessions, please subscribe, please follow. Go ahead and leave some comments. That way, you train the algorithms to show you what you want to see. So you can impact that by following and subscribing. So we have Cecilia Homeros here watching from LinkedIn Live. She's saying, I'm so excited for this event. Great to see you, Samson and Akumishi. Super grateful to have you here, Cecilia. She's asking, how is Nigeria today, Akumishi? I guess we could ask that question. How are you doing? How is Nigeria today, Akumishi? You're muted right now, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know. I figured. Nigeria is beautiful. It was sunny. The daytime was really sunny, but we're good. I'm good now. It's evening, so I'm really happy.
Awesome. We have some more questions. The world needs more schools that are teaching kids how to think more in a growth-minded way. That was super insightful. What are the hardest things you faced while building the school? Wait, before we go there, I would like to share with our audience a little bit of backstory. So you already said about 2019 you started this project with the Creative Footprint. That's super inspiring. I shared a little bit on LinkedIn. It went to my full network and beyond. It was incredibly humbling that we got to help out with that. I would like to ask, what age bracket are these children that you're looking to help? What kind of age bracket are you looking to help right now, Kamishi?
They are teenagers, so 13 to 19-year-olds.
13 to 19. That's perfect age to start thinking for oneself, right? So, how many children are you looking to help with this school, with this project?
So in the school itself, it has a population of about 800 children, but 800 is a lot. I mean, and it's a private. It's not a private school. It is a boarding school. It's really sad to say that they don't even have a restroom, and they feed just once a day in the school. But that's a story for another day. But out of the 800, I did a test for 100 of them. And he just asked the basic question. I had a conversation with them. I told them about my story, after leaving school and all of that. And I go, how many of you here would want to be a part of the project? And a lot of them raised their hands up, they were excited. I go, okay, I need you people to write me a note stating the reason why you want to be a part of this project. I got 100 responses, but I could only take 20. And I'm taking 20 for a start because it's not a one-off thing. So these 20 are going to be trained for 2 months. And then after those 2 months, they get a grant, sort of. So the project after the 2 months is to come up with a business idea or something that they would want some sort of investment in. It has to be viable. It has to be something that they would be committed to doing. And then after graduating these 20 and giving them the grants to start up their own business, they would go on to teach the next set of 20 people. So it's kind of like a train the trainer, self-sustaining project that is going to be set on. So eventually, even if we don't get to 800, everybody in the school, we should be able to do 500. My goal is to do 500 in that school and then move on to another community and replicate the same project. I do not want it to be a one-off, just as I said the first time, meet them for a day and have the conversation and go. I really want to stay there and make these things stick with them before moving on to this next school. So yeah.
That is incredible. I like that way of teach forward, pay it forward, both for the students and for the teachers. So that's super interesting. For everybody who's watching live, feel free to put in the comments any questions or answers or insights that you would like to share with us. I have another question that would be perfect timing right now. Cecilia was asking earlier, what was the hardest thing that you faced while building the school?
I would say the hardest thing, because the structure was already there. The classroom, the structure was already there.
It's lagging a little bit. I think we have a little bit of connection issues. This would be a perfect time to go to today's sponsor. So without further ado, we're gonna go to today's sponsor. Perfectly 15 minutes in. 1 second, and I'm gonna bring back Akumishi after. 1 second. So today's sponsor is Hotel Shkan. This is not a background. That is real. 1 second. I'm gonna show you the video of Shkan Hotel, and also share with you where you can book dream of your lives. This is awesome. Awesome. Definitely check out Shkan Hotel Boutique in Veracruz, Mexico. So for all of y'all who are looking for a dream vacation spot, this off the beaten path boutique hotel is perfect. So without further ado, let's go back. Akumishi, is the internet top notch?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We can hear you again. So what has been the most difficult part with that, or most difficult challenge that you faced while building this school, is a question we had from the audience. Cecilia was asking that on LinkedIn Live.
Thank you so much for that question, Cecilia. So the whole project, the concept of the project came in about July. It started in July. So the brainstorming on how to raise funds started in July, but we were able to raise funds in October. So it was a lot of, oh my God, how is it gonna happen? Blood, sweat, and tears. Not the hardest part of delivering on this was raising funds. So I'm going to tell you a really interesting story of how that happened. So it was a Saturday. It was a Saturday evening, and I was in bed and sulking as usual, and just like, oh my God, where am I going to get the money from? And on Clubhouse, a room goes live. It's the Fight for Your Business club. And I just tap in, and I'm there, and Brandy Holloway is the first person in the room. And she invites me to come on stage. And I go, okay, you know what, I'm going to go on stage. I went on stage, went mute, and she goes, oh, hi, Akumishi. Just share a little bit. What do you do? And I just do and share the project as well. Introduced myself. I told her about the problem, and then I introduced what I intended to do. And because when I was speaking, I put my phone off the screen, so I did not even know who came into the room or who was there. I did my camera back on, and it's Jay. It's Jay Handler. Oh my God, I heard him speak in a room before, and he was so stern. I'm like, oh my God, I actually prayed that day that I never get to be in a room with him. But I mean, it happened that I had to speak, and then he heard me, and he was so thrilled. He's like, oh wow, have you heard about the JCI in Nigeria? I go, no, I don't even know what that is. And so I looked it up, and he was really excited. And he goes, I needed to set up a link so people can donate. I'm like, oh, maybe that's what I needed, to be able to raise funds from a lot of people, crowdfunding. I go, yeah, sure. But because I'm in Nigeria, the means to have gotten that done at the time is something that was far-fetched. So there's this lady, a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine. Her name is Gladys, and she runs a not-for-profit. It's called the Lil Stars Foundation. I call her up immediately. I go, you know that project I was talking to you about? I need you to partner with me. And she goes, yeah. So she's lived in the UK for a while. She has all of those features set up to be able to set up a pool to raise funds. So almost immediately, she put the pool together, and I shared with him, and that was it. We started putting it out. I was going into a lot of rooms, pitching. Sometimes I would get discouraged. I would be like, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore, because, you speak with people, and people buy in, but you cannot make them click. You cannot force them to do the tip and do the donation, because at the time people were going through a lot of things. And even till now, people are still going through a lot of things. But fast forward 3 months after, which was the end of October, after the link was live, I got I met Dan, who introduced me to Samson, and which that's how I met Samson. Dan introduced me to Samson, and speak with a lot of people. Went on a lot of calls. Then we were able to raise the funds. At the time, when the budget was done, it was an approximate of £3,700. That was the amount of money we needed to raise for the project. So I would say that a challenge at the time for me while remodeling this classroom was raising the funds for it.
That's perfect. We're gonna see. By the way, are you currently? Right now is a perfect time to check with the audience. Are you currently also looking for more funds for the Creative Footprint? Because we have a lot of investors, a lot of go-givers who are in Capital Raisers Club. This is a perfect opportunity for all of you all to show appreciation and show support for Akumishi's project with raising funds for a school in Nigeria that educates 800 children. Is that yearly or monthly, or how does that work?
Oh, yearly.
That's beautiful. So we have here in the chat, we have help from Cecilia Holmes, who is sharing Akumishi's Bitcoin address and the Creative Footprint, where you can send sats from anywhere in the world. Please, let's go back into when you were sharing this on Clubhouse, how you were able to share your story, what the reactions were, and how you got funded for Creative Footprint through just speaking and sharing your experiences.
Thank you so much for that question. So I've gotten this question a couple of times, and to be honest, I believe that for anybody who's looking to raise funds, especially people in Africa, I mean, we are walls apart. First off, you don't know me. You just know me over a Zoom call or over a live, and then you hear my story. So people should be able to be vulnerable enough to put all of themselves out there, and first put in place some trust, put in place a level of trust, right, with me as a person and you as Samson. I think I remember when Dan put us in the room together. You asked a couple of questions, and I was able to respond to them. And I feel like it's my sincerity and honesty that kind of drew you to me. But a lot of people try to raise funds, and they just come and, oh, this is what we want to do, and da 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 da. But at the end of the day, they don't really use the funds for what is intended for. So that on its own, put it some sort of bridge between two people and go, oh no, I'm not going to give to these people, I'm not going to give to anybody from this country because someone else who might help did this or did that, So I feel like establishing trust and being vulnerable to the people whom you're looking for funds from, and just being consistent and sticking to your story. I'm pretty sure that at some point, Dan or you or Jay would have been able to say, oh no, this lady is not genuine. But because I knew what I wanted, and just being consistent and being vulnerable and putting myself out there is something that I think people who are looking to raise funds should do. Because to be honest, people do not necessarily fund your project. They fund you. They give the money to you because they trust you. Anybody could come up with a project, but if I don't trust you, if you don't trust me, giving the funding out, that would be a problem. So yeah, establishing trust and being vulnerable would definitely pull people in towards you, your vision, and who share the same goals, and will be able to fund your project. So yeah, that's what I have to say regarding the question you asked.
That's profound. At the same time, You're sharing that uh, vulnerability, just sharing your story, what's going on, and asking for help. There's so many people who we've had on our networking events and networking meetups, and they DM me after the fact saying, hey, this or that, I would like to have help with this or that. And what would you say to them? Like, because we have a lot of listeners that are watching the replay afterwards, what would you say? What would you give as a first step of taking action on, sharing about themselves, and what could they do?
Definitely. If I hear your question correctly, you're asking what people should do first when seeking help. Introduce yourself. Just introduce yourself. It will actually make a lot of sense if you're able to introduce yourself and have some sort of link somewhere that states who you are or the kind of job you've done, the work you've done. People have a recommendation list of people who are credible as well. But first off, an introduction of yourself and also a public space where people can read about you, read about your work it's perfect for the first introduction. Because if after having the conversation I wasn't able to pull up my top link profile and say, oh, this is me on top link, or this is me on LinkedIn, I've been on LinkedIn for a while, this is the content I've put out, people should be able to see the trajectory, the traction which you've set for yourself with putting yourself out there. Because it's the internet. There are a lot of people that just come out as ghosts and just go off at the end of the day. But just being here, if you need help, you really need to put yourself out there. You really need to put yourself out there in the public space, not in the private space. Because the private space is limited to just a few people, which is most likely going to be people in your network, people in your circle. But seeking funds from a larger community, you also have to be an open book. So people are able to buy into you and trust you to say, okay, yes, this person has opened up to a large extent and I think I'm ready to help. So please introduce yourself first. Do not just go straight to the point and say, oh, hey, this is me and I'm doing this project and I need you to give. No. Introduce yourself. Wait for the person to respond to you. Establish some level of some conversation. Give the person a soft landing ground and not just push yourself in the person's face. So yeah, I think that also scares people off because it comes off as, why are you in my face? As opposed to, okay, oh, hi, this is what you do, and this is where you need help with. And also, one thing I would also say is, do a little research on the person. Know what they do. I am keen into, I am looking to serve you. I'm looking to serve your vision. So it makes them
Because this message is so important, I would like us to
to
reiterate
help
what you
me
just
with
said.
my visions.
There's a little bit of lag right now. We're gonna ask a question again in a little bit, and it's we're gonna see if we can get the connection working.
So I'm going to pull. Okay, is this better?
Nah.
All right,
All
fantastic.
right, let's go. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so introduce yourself. Read up on the person. Read up on the person's profile and bio. Make sure you know the person whom you're speaking with. So your message is not a general message. You tailor your request. You tailor whatever it is you want to say to the person. If the person has a vision, key into the person's vision. So the person would feel like he will get help from you in as much as you're looking for help from him. He would also get help from you to spreading his vision or her vision across the board. So don't just go straight to someone's DM and go, oh, this is who I am and this is what I want. No, know the person first. They're humans as well. We're all humans. I want to have and all of that. We also need to human connection when speaking with people as opposed to being a robot. So yeah, definitely have a human connection and been looking to serve the person more. So yeah, that's my response to that.
That's super. And also, you're not just saying it, you've lived it and you've gone those paths already. So it would be interesting once again for the ones that maybe tuned in a little bit later. When you raised on Clubhouse, could you walk us through that? Raising in a public forum, sharing about your story. Could you walk us from A to Z on how that was as an experience? Maybe somebody in the audience is looking to raise right now and could use some similar aspects of raising. If it is, I mean, if it is a reggae, please make sure that you're registered. I'm not Okay, this is for educational purposes only. It's not advice. It's not legal advice or anything else. I hope I said that properly. Don't sue us. This is just okay. Good. All right, go ahead, Akumishi. How would you advise somebody who, or not advise? How would you? I don't know how to ask this. Please walk us through your experience of raising online. That's easy. Walk
Yeah,
us
sure.
through your experience of raising online in a public forum. Thank you.
Thank you. To be honest, when this started, it wasn't a case of raising the funds online. I really thought some magic wand was just going to swipe moment. Is it better now? Can you hear me well?
I said yes. I'm gonna hop out. I think it works better when you're here. So,
Okay.
how could you please walk us through your raising?
Sure. Before you even want to start raising funds, right? You should put as much information of the project as possible out in the public space. So when you're making a pitch, it matches what people see on your social media. People will not just come and hear you say one thing, but go on your website or on social media and see an entirely different thing. So for me, this is something that had started in January of 2021. And then just going further, based on the traction people had seen, I went to the school, I made videos of the classroom, talked about what we want to turn the classroom into, found pictures on Google to show samples of what I was looking to turn the classroom into and how the whole project would run. I put myself out there 101%, 110% at this point. So going into a room, it started with a pitch, and at some point, to be honest, I gave up on raising funds because it wasn't forthcoming the way I thought it would. But that's where consistency and commitment and being disciplined comes into play. If I just said, you know what, I can't do this anymore, and just went and just left the whole process, then nothing would have happened. But just staying there, going back every day, meeting people, telling them my story, this whole process led me to meeting one person. And then it led me to meeting the next person who opened up the door to every other person I met, including Samson. So putting yourself out there, you really have to be vulnerable when you're raising funds. So when you're raising funds for public projects, it's not something private. It's not something that you want to put in the box. It's something that you want to be as open as you can with it as possible. I'm not saying like come and talk about your family and whatnot. No, you have to tie yourself to the project. Because as I said before now, people will invest in you. They will invest in your commitment. They will invest in your drive and see where you can lead the project too. So with me, as I said earlier, raising funds was on Club. I started on Clubhouse and then set up a PayPal pool. Put it it on my LinkedIn, to my social media, went into a lot of rooms, pitched, and then people funded, pitch funds. At the time, it cost around £10 per child to buy the learning products, and to get all of this set up. So just reaching out to a few people, this person would introduce to the next person, the next will introduce to the next. So it all boils down, to be honest, to selling yourself, selling you as a person, and then tying your project to yourself, because people would want to donate to a human being. They want to donate into you and see what you can turn their donation into. So yeah, be vulnerable and be open as possible.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
We don't on Clubhouse. We usually have all the applause, in the chat, the mic flashing and everything. For everybody who's watching this, even if you're watching the recording, definitely show some love in the comments section. We can't see those likes, so put those comments in, what you found insightful and whatnot. The next question, holy cow, this is on fire already, because very few realize that you can do this, and you have so many obstacles stacked against you, being in Africa, being in a place where most people aren't familiar with what the project is about, what you're doing, or anything. So a lot of people in the Capital Raisers Club or within commercial real estate, which we are usually talking about here in Capital Raisers Club, have so many dominoes stacked in their favor, and they put this, super large, obstacle in front that is just, well, it's interesting. I find that interesting. I would like to, okay, we have some love in the comments already. This is great. I've been looking to learn more about capital raising, being consistent, selling yourself as a person is great tips. There's Cecilia sharing in the live, LinkedIn live. We have, thank you for sharing. We have, I wish I could applaud. Oh, you can. We can feel that. We can feel that. Akumishi feels it all the way to Nigeria. All right. So hey, a fun fact from the raising and from the collaborations that you did, I did not expect. Okay, for everybody who hasn't seen the posts on LinkedIn that I share with you all and that Akumishi also shared, you sent me something that brought tears to my eyes a couple of months ago, and my name is on a wall in Africa, and I had no idea that was about to happen or anything. What was going on in the project? What made you choose? How did you choose the people that you put in the wall for? What was that about? Please share with because this is something that I think is, at least for me, it feels like, holy cow, that's legacy right there for my future, grandchildren or whatever. They're gonna go visit. They're gonna be like, oh, granddad was here. But anyways, could you please share with us how you did that, who you chose to go on the wall, and what that was about, please?
Yeah, to be honest, everybody who donated to the cause has his name on the wall. Everyone that gave money, sent Bitcoins as well, has his name on her name on the wall. The reason is because you gave it to me. You gave the funding to me as a person, but I needed people. I needed every other person who would visit the room. I needed the class. I needed the children in the classroom to be able to see the names of the people, which is also why when the project kicks off officially, as many people who donated to the cause, they are going to be on live calls with the children. And for those whom time is a little bit funny, they would send in videos where I would play to the children, so they see the people whom sent these funds for the classroom to be refurbished. They need to understand the laws of collaboration. They need to understand that no man is an island. You need as much, as you walk through life, you need as much help as you can. And for the people who would willingly and openly just come and give this help to you, I mean, I wish I could do more, to be honest. I wish I could do more than just have your name on the wall. But I mean, we're limited on ideas, but that is a legacy to say Mr. Samson Holmerus was able to donate to bring this classroom to life. So Mr. Sampson invested in the life skills training and entrepreneurial training of these children. So making that environment conducive enough for these children to be able to learn. I did not have the funding to put that together, but you did, and you shared so generously with me. So it was only right that your name goes on the wall as the sponsor. So yes, and I mean, as far as many people, I mean, a lot of people reach out to me like, why is my name on the wall? I'm like, because you put the classroom together. I did not put the classroom together. I came up with the idea. But getting it done was your thing. You did it through the money you gave for this project. So yeah, thank you so much again.
I yeah, like I said, I had tears in my eyes when I was watching those pictures, and I didn't expect it. I don't know if anybody expected it that was about to happen. And also, I would like to encourage everybody who's watching this live that if you're not comfortable with sending Bitcoin, if you're not comfortable with sending money um, through crypto in any way, Akumishi, could you please share PayPal or something in the back channel here so that we can post that? I don't know if that's okay or not. Um, so that the project, because to my understanding, you're right now acquiring more of the books like Mindset by Carol Dweck, books like, could you please explain to our, or please share with our audience here today, what kind of books are you looking to educate the children uh, on, and why? Like, what's the background info on that?
Sure. So for me, my learning process started from taking a lot of online courses, YouTube, watching videos on YouTube, and of course, reading a lot of books. Now, these books see a lot of process
There's some lag in the background, but this is a perfect time for us to show gratitude to our sponsor today, Shkan Boutique Hotel here in Veracruz. So we're gonna go to the video. Y'all can click the link in the chat to book yourselves a dream journey of a lifetime. We're right here, right now. We're super blessed to be here, me and my partner, and you can be too. Check this out. That's so cool. So we're gonna go back to the question: which books we have? Akumishi is back. Which question? Uh, which books are you educating the children on, and how did you choose these books? Would love to hear more about that. I think our audience would be super excited to hear more about that. So feel free to
Thank
share.
you. Sure. Thank you so much. And I apologize on behalf of my network in Nigeria. I apologize. And yeah, we're looking for a lot of self-help books. lots of books, books such as Atomic Habits that teaches the the um the importance of compound habits and picking up, changing your habits little by little. We're looking for books like that talks about business, um, books by John C. Maxwell, leadership books, um, books such as Deep Works, so essentially self-help books that are meant to tell stories of other people and have people not think in a direct way, but start thinking more entrepreneurially. Because I was having a conversation with a friend a couple of days ago, and I told him that we're all in the business of selling. Because when you go for a job interview, you're trying to sell yourself, and marketing is not something that is taught in school. But there are marketing books out there that will teach you how to sell your value proposition and how to price yourself, so to say, when it comes to the parts where salary. We also have books that we have developed ourselves. We're looking for people who would sponsor those books and people who would sponsor those books. And if you have books in the US or wherever you are in the world, feel free to share with me. I am only a message away to send in my address so you can deliver and then put up in the classroom, and also have an opportunity for you to log in and speak with the children as well, because I need them to also really understand the power of collaboration. I couldn't do anything. None of the things I've done today would have come to life if I did not if I did not if I did not reach out to people for the sake of collaboration. So yes, I'm really looking for a lot of self-help books that are meant to start people off, as opposed to going back to the same books that I used when I was a teenager, which is now being used to teach the younger generation. So yeah, self-help books. I could share. I have the link of the books a little soon. Also, there's a book called Okay, I guess I'm back now. There's a book by Bob Berg. It's called The Go Giver. That book as well is something that I would really love to have on the shelf for these children to read, and also be able to, hopefully, fingers crossed, connect with him and have him speak with these children as well. Because the more people I could get to speak with them, and the more books I could get that are meant to teach them and build them and groom them, the better. So yes, thank you.
That's great books that you mentioned. Super cool that you mentioned Bob Berg. He's coming up in 14 days. So 2 weeks from now, we have Bob Berg here on the show talking about the Go Giver Way. So it's an excellent book. We have it as mandatory reading within Capital Races Club. Everybody who's working in the back end knows that book by heart. And yeah, we're gonna see what we can do for collaborating with the Creative Footprint Project, get you more of those books, and I'm gonna ask him to see what happens. For those of you all who are watching the recording later on afterwards, definitely feel free to support the work that Akumishi is doing here. Sending a few sats, sending some money may not feel as if it's gonna do much for you if you're sending something that you feel is not enough, but know how much it means when each book, each money, it goes so much further. You're sending directly to the organization here. You're not sending through a intermediary, anything kind of that. It's straight to the project. It's going 100% to the project. So we're super honored to have you here, founder of the Creative Footprint Project. I would like to go to a question that most people, in your introduction, you briefly mentioned this, and most people have no idea what it is. So you said the World Forum. Please share with those that have no idea. Who sponsors the World Forum? What is it about? And how did this is mind blowing. I just found out just a couple of, when I was researching you. How did you get on that? That's super huge. So
Yeah.
please share with everybody here. How did you get connected with such a huge organization?
Thank you so much for that question. So I am an Abuja Global Shaper, and the Abuja Global Shapers is part of a larger community called the Global Shapers Community. And the Global Shapers Community is of the World Economic Forum. I love to think of all of us, the Global Shapers, as the babies of the World Economic Forum. So what these essentially are a group of people in different communities. I am in the Abuja hub. So it means we're a group of youths that are aged 33 years below, 33 to 18, 18 to 33 rather, that are implementing projects in our rural communities for the sake of improving the state of that community. So currently, I am the vice curator of Abuja Hub. And what we do again is implement projects to make the state of Abuja better. So we've got projects around entrepreneurship, we've got projects around mentorship, we've got projects around dialogue series, having conversations about the state of the country and all of that. We've got projects around refurbishing, renovating classrooms, building classrooms from scratch. We've got projects around providing water for rural communities. We've got projects, legal projects. We've got a Connect project that brings different people together. We've got Meet the Leader series project, which is essentially meeting people whom have done a lot more, and then they come and they have the conversation with us as to how to be able to structure ourselves. And it's a very a funny story to how I joined the community. Same process. I was on Instagram one evening, just scrolling, and then I see, recruitment on, join the Abuja Hub. I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a trial. At the time, I did not have so much experience to my name. I joined in 2018, but because I was still trying to find myself then, there was just a lot happening. I didn't have so many social friends. I am an introvert till now, but I'm able to connect more with people because of the kind of work I do. So I applied, and I forgot about it. I was honestly not hoping to get any response from them. But then I get a message that goes, "Oh, you have an interview." I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then I went in for the interview. Fast forward, I think about a week or 2 weeks after, I got a confirmation email, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. They put me on a 3 month probation with a couple more people, and I scaled the 3 month probation, and yay, I'm here today as a global shaper. So yeah, that's exciting.
It's incredible. And this, I read the sponsor list briefly. Basically, any corporation, any kind of business that you are familiar with are on their sponsor and partner list, which is saying a lot. I mean, it's heavily backed by everybody. That's super cool. Thank you, Akumishi, for sharing.
Thank you.
Are there any? I would like to ask from the audience right now, for those watching this, either live or recording later. Feel free to put in any questions that you have for later on, and we will try to cover them in the comment section maybe later. And for those that are live, feel free to share them now so that we can connect with those questions. Mishi, is there, when you were saying that you raised through not just normal currencies, you also raised with Bitcoin, which is something that most people are thinking, wait, that's the future of raising capital, or future of doing payments and transactions, especially borderless transactions where you can go far very fast. What's your experience? What would you say to somebody who's considering raising through Bitcoin right now?
I would say is a fantastic opportunity for you to explore, because there's no third party, so to say. Whoever wants to send funds to you sends to you directly, and then you're able to change into your currency and execute whatever project it is that you want to do. So it is, I can guarantee you that it is the most seamless process to raise funding, because all the person needs is your barcode to scan, or just your address. Put it in and then send the Bitcoin. It's a really seamless process to use for fundraising for for a project. So please, as many people as possible, please tap into using this using the Bitcoin option to raise funding for your project. It's really cool and really beautiful. But you need to have network and have a phone that works, obviously, to raise it. So yeah.
That's super interesting. I would like to cover that because I have a lot of in my network who are still very skeptical of using it in any way, shape, or form, and they have no idea what they're missing out. It's kind of, a lot of people don't want to change until they have to. So for those, what would you say is a good step to learn more how to utilize it? Because I remember when we connected, I asked you how can I easiest send you money or anything, and when we got connected, I found out your public key. It was easy. It was very seamless, like you said. So what would you say is the first step for anybody who's looking to send you money through Bitcoin? Did that question get? I don't know if that question landed. We have some internet connection issues, maybe. What would you say is the first? Oh wait, what? One second. I'm gonna also type it in. Hey, this is a perfect time to share the PayPal address. So there's a lot of people here who are watching this, maybe recording or the live, that aren't yet on any Bitcoin networks or any kind of Lightning networks or anything. So for those of you who'd like to support Akumishi and her project with raising funds for the school in Nigeria, where you get to support and support the work, please head to PayPal. You can go to gngbako@yahoo.com. You can PayPal that address, and the money goes straight to Creative Footprint. There's no intermediary, any kind of cuts, a little bit from PayPal, but basically most of it is going straight to the cost. So it's way better than most of these kind of organizations. This is something that we really like here on Capital Races Club. I wouldn't have brought Akumishi if I don't believe in her project and her integrity. So definitely reach out to Akumishi. Even if you're just curious, definitely just reach out to her. We're all looking to give more, earn more, give more, earn more, give more. Now show it too. Please take that action step of showing that to Akumishi by connecting with her. Here she is. So for the people who aren't already connected with any Bitcoin kind of, there's a lot of media, there's a lot of YouTube videos. What would you say is something they could do right now? Somebody who's not familiar with Bitcoin, what would be the first step? Like, hey, this is something. Would you like to share with our audience here today?
Oh yeah, definitely. I would first off say you need to get a phone, obviously, that would support you opening a Bitcoin platform, so you're able.
Whoops, a little bit more lag. We have some connection issues. No worries. We have a question here from I'm laughing because it's interesting. We're almost the full hour in and trying to see if we can make this all the way to the finish line. 1 second. I'm gonna go to another question actually because maybe it's the question. Conspiracy. Maybe it is the question. So I'm going to go to a question from the audience. Last question for today. If you would like to participate in the interviews more by commenting, definitely drop your comments and insights and questions in the comments. That way we get to include you in the show. So with that said, Akumishi, let's go with the next question instead. We have Cecilia here dying to find out, are you also looking for volunteers in the school in Nigeria? I think that's a perfect.
Yes. Oh, yes. I am looking for as many volunteers. So, interesting enough, some lady reached out from South Africa. Her name is Nondiwe. she reached out and said she should really love if this project could be replicated in her country. And she's there in South Africa, I'm here in Nigeria. So yes, I am looking for people to volunteer virtually and physically. So yes, if you're Nigerian and you're in the comments, you're live, please reach out to me. I could really use all the help I could get with speaking with these children and just putting in a more, because this is the first time I'm reaching out to these children and talking to them for long. I mean, I speak to them for just a day or two, but I'm going to be speaking with them for a full period of 2 months. So yes, it will be really refreshing to have more faces to speak with these children as well. So yes, I'm looking for volunteers in and out of Nigeria. So yes, you can connect virtually and also have physical volunteers as well.
That's a perfect segue to how do people connect with you better, Akumishi? Where can we connect with you? Everybody who wants to connect now that they know more about you and your project.
Yeah, I am on LinkedIn at Akumishi Ayenajeh. If my name is on the screen, then that is it, Akumishi Ayenajeh. I'm also on Instagram at the Creative Footprint. The Creative Footprint, TheKreative Footprint. Also, I'm on WhatsApp as well. I'm just gonna call the numbers out. Hopefully, something gets to pull it off and put it in the comments. It's +234 70370 10546. I take it again. +234 70370 10546. That's me on WhatsApp. On Instagram at the Creative Footprint. On LinkedIn at Akumishi Ayenajeh.
That is perfect. So we have many ways of connecting with you. I also put up here, 1 second. We have here in the comments for those watching live on LinkedIn Live or on YouTube Live or on Twitter Live. Bet you didn't know we can do Twitter Live right now. You have some people that only watch from Twitter instead of all the other apps, which is kind of fascinating. Anyways, with that said, thank you so much, Akumishi, for taking time for this. I know it's super late where you are. Hey, just real quick, this is live broadcast, and you agreed to this meeting super late for you. Could you share with the audience the level of commitment you have? What time is it right now? Ah, please, internet work, please. 1 second. I don't want to spoil it. One second. We have massive lag. We're gonna ask in the back channels. Anyways, in closing, I'd like to share with you all that definitely connect with Akumishi Ayenajeh on Instagram. The Creative Footprint is spelled with a K, not a C. So the Creative Footprint on Instagram. Same thing for LinkedIn. Same thing for any other platform. You can go to the website too. But yeah, you can also connect straight from the WhatsApp if you'd like to support this project with educating children in Nigeria on the things we wished we would have learned in school, like finance, leadership, all those good stuff that we get to learn once we're done. The most important stuff in the school, I mean, in education, I would say, is those kind of topics that they cover with the kind of books that shape leaders of today and tomorrow. So for all of those reasons, definitely feel free to connect with her, and also feel free to also support the project. Action speaks louder downwards. Here's your chance to take action. gngbako@yahoo.com. You can go to PayPal. You can type that in. We have it here in the video. If you're watching this live on any platform, please watch the video, and you can see the PayPal tag right there. And if you're watching this from a phone, or if you're listening to this, I'm right now going to show you all the Bitcoin address. And for all of you, that one is, you're able to copy paste that one because it's also on LinkedIn Live. So definitely go to LinkedIn, watch this video, and we can put it in the show notes. With that said, Akumishi, feel free to share with you all, with everybody. We're gonna close out. Thank you so much for being here. What time is it in Nigeria right now where you're at?
It's 9 p.m. 9:05 actually.
Super honored to have you here at this hour. It's way past my bedtime, and I'm in Mexico, so it's actually 2 p.m. here. But thank you so much, Akumishi, for making time for this. Really, really appreciate having you here. Everybody who watches this live and in the recording, feel free to comment what your key takeaways are from this episode, what you would like to ask Akumishi when you get the chance in the comments, or also when you're connecting with her. Definitely feel free to connect with her. And yeah, Akumishi, with that said, what would you like to leave our audience with today?
Thank you so much, Samson, for having me. I would I'd just love to say that but I always say the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the next best time is now. It's really amazing if we can do more for children, because they indeed are the leaders of tomorrow. So if we're able to set them up right and set them up well, then the world will definitely be a better place. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you everyone who's going to watch this on rebroadcast. I truly appreciate it, and I look forward to connecting and meeting each and every one of you someday in the future. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Mic drop. That was beautiful. Talk to you soon. see you later, my friend. 1 second. We're gonna go out with the outro here. If you like this, smash the subscribe button. Definitely follow us on each platform you're watching this on. And for more, you can always go to capitalraisersclub.com. This is Samson, your host for today. See you all next time. Next Thursday, we're going live for the surprise guest. I'm not sharing yet who we're bringing with. But with that said, see you all next time. Thank you.